Fifth day of the knife cycle. Fifth day of the shedding old skin cycle. Fifth day of cutting off old relationships and creating that space cycle. This fifth day is the totem is the wind. Oh, and the wind comes and blows away all of those negative things that we're separating ourselves from. You deserve it. You deserve the wind to blow on your face in the heat of all of this crap that comes about from trying to separate yourself. Oh, this is an ordeal. This is not easy. It's not easy cutting off people that are your family members or negative influences. This is not an easy thing at all. The energy of the wind is a day of not working with others. You let all this wind keep blowing on you like a tornado. You ain't worried about nobody. You try to get everybody to safety, but you want to get yourself to safety underneath some type of protection. This is a good day of rooting out bad habits. The wind, the tornado, the opportunity, the open door, the opening of a way, the spirit to remind you, to inspire you. All that get blows away. All this negative stuff, because you need it out of your life. You need it out of your life. Push the wind. Let the wind push the shit out of, let all that shit go. Just let it go. Let the wind take it away. Let the wind take it away. Don't look back.
I trust you.
Well, you should find people in your life you can trust.
Don't tell me what I should do. I'm not one of your BLM marchers.
Sometimes you got to be firm with people. Sometimes you just got to say it like it is. Sometimes you have to have enough force within yourself to make that space, to produce that space. And then once you do that, you watch what is in people, the hatred that some people may have. And sometimes releasing that relationship is something that's necessary for both of you.
I'm a luck dragon. My name is Falcor.
And my name is
Atreyu. And you're on a quest.
How'd you know that?
You were unconscious. And you talked in your sleep.
I want you to look at that Aztec symbol right there. Now, don't it look like a dragon? Now, why would they, Mayas or Aztec, depict the wind as a dragon? It's very similar to the never-ending story. I mean, if you think about it, the Mayans had a never-ending calendar. I mean, a calendar that calculated big swaths of time and consciousness, millions and billions of years. I mean, could the never-ending story be about the Mayan calendar? We may have to discuss this. Sixth day of the knife cycle. Sixth day of the shed old skin cycle. Sixth day of the separate yourself from old negative energy and form new relationships cycle. Today's totem is the house. The house. I'm not talking about a brick house. I'm talking about the house that causes you to move around it. See, this is a house. It's called Kaaba. It's called Akbar or Qibla. See, what is a Qibla? A Qibla is a house that you move yourself around like the Muslims do over there in Arabia. See, it also represents the opportunity to change because at one time people didn't face that way. People used to face another way. Next thing you know, you changing your direction. Well, when you drive in a car and you need to make a quick turn, that's what today's all about. You better make a quick turn because we heading somewhere new. You need to understand that this change in direction represents an evolutionary development in your whole DNA. You know when things are trying to move you in a new direction. You know it. You feel it. Sometimes we don't listen, but today your ass is going to get turned into a new direction. Well, why is that? Why? Because evolution demands it. I can't remain the same way that I've always been. I got to move forward, man. These are the days where you really just moving in synchronicity with people that you mutually trust. When you're changing directions in your life, you need to be around people you really need to be around. So this is the knife cycle. This is the shed new skin, shed old skin, form new relation. This is the day to do it. This is the day to do it. Change your direction and get with those of who have a family interest. I want to talk real briefly about the unfortunate loss of our brother Takeoff of the Migos. There's a strange type of energy around what took place in Houston, and I want you to just pay attention just for a moment as I discuss this cycle and what some future implications of this possibly means. Now, this 13-day cycle is ruled by a particular man in the Mayan calendar. His name is Mictlantecuhtli. Now, he was the ruler of Mictlan. Now, Mictlan is the lowest underworld that they understood. It's called the northern realm of the dead. Look at that, the northern realm of the dead. See, this thing took place on the close to the Day of the Dead or Halloween, the Day of the Dead in Middle America. I mean, that we celebrate here. See, but the Mayans, the Aztec, they understood that this is the realm of the dead, that America, North America, is the realm of the dead. So when Elijah Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan are talking about we're the dead, this ruler over this area, he is associated with three animals: bat, the owl, and the spider. Now, as a ruler of the dead, of the underworld, the northern realm of North America, this being associated with the spider, which is the weaver of webs, the owl, that bird that who sees at night, who sees all the workings of the thing, it's a bird of wisdom, and the bat, which reminds us of the blood-sucking energy. So Mictlantecuhtli, or this ruler of Mictlan, which represents America, I want you to understand me that there are beings here who are wanting to keep this thing. I'm gonna tell you why you need to understand a little something about this Mayan calendar. Listen, we live in the fifth age. This whole 2012 thing was about the fifth age, the fifth element. And let me tell you a little bit about it. This is the time when the dead are raised. This is the time when the Savior comes, the fifth age, baby. And this fifth age, the Savior is the Quetzalcoatl. He's the feathered serpent. He comes to recreate life in the northern realm of the dead. And when he got here, he saw this man, Mictlantecuhtli, and he said he needed those bones that he was ruling over. And Mictlantecuhtli agreed to give it to him. But then he came to come get him, and he changed his mind. The ruler of the dead changed his mind, and he didn't want to give up the bones so that this new God could remake life. Quetzalcoatl, he gets the bones, escapes up out of there, and recreates life. And this is what you have to understand. We need a change in direction at times in these old relationships. You could stay with who you're with. You just need to change. You need something to just change things up a little bit, to stop doing what you're used to doing, to stop arguing about the same thing. We get in these broken records, and there's really no need to do that.